Peter Kanyagia of Joe Redworm's farm. Joe Redworm Farm is located at Ruaka Bypass, just after passing the Ruaka Shopping Center. We are one of the largest breeders of redworms in Kenya, having started sometimes back about 7 years ago. Farming has been, I've been doing farming all my life. Even when I was a small kid, my parents used to own a farm and we used to do farming. But I got into serious farming about 10 years ago when I realized that there is a better way of doing farming using organic farming. And that is, as opposed to using fertilizers like DAP, CAN, I found that organic farming is far much better. Yes. Organic farming is farming crops of vegetables without using commercial fertilizers like CAN, DAP. These are commercial fertilizers and they are chemically made, which means when you grow crops using inorganic fertilizers, these chemicals go inside the vegetables, and when you eat that food or vegetable, you are literally eating chemicals. That is inorganic farming, and it's not very good, or commercial farming. Now, in organic farming, we use organic matter or decomposed organic matter to make compost, and we feed plants with the decomposed compost. Yes. Okay. Before we come to vermiculture, I should explain what different types of compost which are available to farmers. The most common one is the one where you have organic matter or organic matter waste from the farm. You dig a hole, compost all your organic matter there. Whatever you are throwing away, you put there. You might have manure. You might have leftover vegetables. You put them in the compost and they will decompose in time. That is called natural composting. Now, you can do it in another way by using worms or earthworms to eat the compost, so that the worms, after eating the compost, will produce what you call vermicompost, which is very good for farming organically. There are two types of compost from the redworms. One is the actual compost. The other one is a liquid compost called vermiliquid. Vermiculture is a very wide subject because it is, we are talking of earthworms, using earthworms, and there are very many types of earthworms which are used in vermiculture. The best one, or the best earthworm which has been found to be the best in composting, is called the redworms, or scientifically Senior fetida. That is the one which eats a lot of compost and can multiply very quickly. And beside being used in making compost, farmers also can feed their chicken, their fish with this redworm. Redworms are available with very many farmers. The largest one of the most known where you can buy redworms is Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture. JQuat have been training farmers for many years to make them aware of how they can use redworms to make organic compost. Besides JQuat, there are so many farmers now who are selling redworms to farmers all over the country. When a farmer has made an order for earthworms or redworms, we pack these worms in containers, like the one which I have shown here. And this container has holes on top and on the side. This is because we want to deliver these worms sometimes to a very long distance, and the worms should have enough air to last the length of the journey. And that's why you have seen that the container has some holes. The container also has food for the worms. for them. If they feel like eating, they will eat the food which is there. The farmer will get this container either by coming to the farm here, when we will pack the worms for him, or we will send the container by a courier or by through buses. We usually deliver to any place somebody wants. We have delivered worms to every part of Kenya. We have delivered worms to Tanzania. We have delivered worms to Uganda. We have delivered worms to Zambia, to Zanzibar, to a lot of countries outside Kenya. And we usually deliver them in these containers. Now, once the farmer has received the worms, he or she will have to decide how he's going to, or what sort of bed he's going to do to prepare for the worms. There are various beds, and some of the beds, you can see them in the background here, and on the side here. The most popular bed are these blue plastic drums, which are cut into half, where the worms are put inside. As you can see, these half plastic drums has a hole on one side where you can collect the vermiliquid. Now, for those people who are doing commercial farming or they have large farms, they use concrete beds like the ones we have here, where you can breed a lot of earthworms. These earthworms can live between 3 and 5 months. And the good things about these earthworms is that they reproduce very quickly. And earthworms, they are hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites, and that. But although they are male and female, some of them actually can reproduce them alone. And the more they are, the more they produce. If you buy about 5 kg of earthworms, especially red worms, they will multiply twice within 2 months. We have two products. Actually, the uses of worms are various. The one use of earthworms is for them to produce vermiliquid, which is used as a plant foliar by farmers. The vermiliquid is very strong, and one has actually to mix it with water at a ratio of 1:10 when you want to use it for foliar. The other product is the vermicompost, which is left inside the bed after the worms have eaten all the compost. Now, the third use for worms is that you can feed these worms to chicken, you can feed them to fish, so that because the worms are pure protein, and feeding them to this livestock actually adds a lot of weight to them. There are so many dangers because there are birds which can come and eat them. There are also safari ants, which if they get inside here, they will eat those worms. Those are the two main predators for the worms. And we usually prevent them by putting a lot of dry cover on top so that birds cannot get inside. For the safari ants, these ones are very dangerous if they come inside. So we usually put some oil, or engine oil, old engine oils around the beds. And you can see that some places are black because we usually apply that used oil there to prevent the safari ants getting inside. For the compost from the redworms, they cannot be destructive to your crops. But we always do things in moderation. You should put enough for what you want to grow. If you are using vermiliquid, we usually dilute it at a rate of 1 to 10. That is 1 part vermiliquid and 10 parts water. Then we can water the plants that way. When you come to compost, we usually put just enough for 1 plant. Earthworms take about 3 months to compost anything so that you can see results and also for them to multiply. So if you buy earthworms now, you have to wait about 3 months for you to see the results of either vermiliquid or the vermicompost, or you can harvest them for your birds, your chicken, or your fish. Yeah. Now, this depends on purely on the customer. There are people who are interested in buying worms as a hobby so that they can grow maybe a few plants outside their home. Maybe they also want to use the compost for their flowers. There you can buy 1 kg of redworms. But if you are doing a small kitchen garden, it is good to buy enough earthworms so that they can make enough compost. We usually recommend you start with 5 kg of earthworms, and this will provide you with a small amount of vermiliquid and also the vermicompost. If you have a bigger kitchen garden, you can buy 10 or 15 kg of earthworms, where you can also get enough compost and enough liquid. Now, for the large farmer, you need to buy something like from 50 to 100 kg of earthworms, which we also sell, and you can start commercial vermicomposting. Yeah. We do training to all farmers because information is power, and if you want to do anything, the first thing you do is to gather information. And we provide farmers with training here. We have a lot of farmers coming, especially on Fridays and Saturday. They come and learn. Then they go home with the earthworms and go and start the organic farming. Now, here you can see these are half plastic drums. These drums are normally used for water, and when you buy a full drum, you cut the drum into 2 so that you can either use 2 of them in one system. Here you can see there's one on top and another one down there. Now, this drum is divided into 2 compartments. There's a reason why we have divided this into 2. The reason is that you can start vermicomposting on one side and feed all the worms, be feeding worms here on one side, which means that after some time, the worms will have completed eating all the compost or organic matter on that side, and this compartment will be full. It takes about 2 to 3 months so that the worms have eaten all the waste and it is full. Now, you start with one compartment. When this one is full, you put compost in the next compartment, which means that the worms now will move from where there is no food to where there is food. The worms will leave this compartment, move to the second compartment, and start now the process again. You'll be feeding now in this compartment. What is on that first compartment is actually the compost, which you can remove and go and use it for your gardening or your or planting your vegetables. That's why we have two compartments. One is empty because we are waiting for the composting on one side. Once the composting is completed, we will put the waste or the organic matter on the empty one, and the worms will migrate from where they have already made compost to the new one where they are going now to make new compost. That's why it is empty. We are not collecting at the moment because the beds are dry. We can make them wet by putting some water inside and collecting the vermiliquid. We usually give it about 2 weeks so that we can add a bit of water and collect the vermiliquid. Yes.